So we're here on the eve of phase 2 of Season of Discovery. And as we approach it, there's a couple things we want to do. Well, first of all, a lot of us are thinking about the next character we might want to play in phase 2, or at least keeping our options open, because you never know what kind of new runes are going to be available that are going to completely change a class. So with that being said, if you're in the business of leveling up your side characters, creating your alt army, preparing for phase 2, this is video for you, because we're going to go over the main things you want to consider when leveling up a bunch of characters, or maybe just a second one. I have 3 things for you to know about as you're going on that journey. I myself have the self-assigned task of leveling up every class before phase 2 comes out, because I want to make sure I'm playing the class that's going to be the best for me. There's a couple classes I know for sure I'm going to take with me, and I might add a couple to the list, but I want to have the option to be able to do so. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to layer this based on a priority queue, so the first things you should do and the first things you should be concerned with when you're beginning this journey. And we're going to start with 1. This is common. It's going to carry over from Classic and carry over to any version of WoW. You want to make your character as soon as you can. So you want to make all your dudes, every character you're interested in leveling, because when you make them, they're going to start storing up the rested experience points. Rested XP, for anyone that doesn't know, maybe you're new to Warcraft, is going to give you a 100% multiplier on your kill experience as you're grinding through monsters. It's going to stack with the longer that you don't play a character. Now, it's going to go even faster and stack even quicker if you're in a rested zone. Rested zones are going to be in the inns, and they're going to be in the cities. Okay, so you'll know because on your character health bar, you're going to see a ZZZ icon that's going to indicate that your character is resting. Okay, so just make sure you also know this too, because your character will instantly log off as soon as you click the log out button. Now, all characters are going to generate rested experience no matter what, just at a slower rate if you're not in a rested place, but they don't generate any rested experience at all if they've never been played before. If you make a character and just have it sit there on your character screen, it's not going to get rested experience because it doesn't technically get generated and created until you play it for just a millisecond, just a second. You have to log into it and either skip that intro sequence or watch the intro sequence and then see your character on the screen, and that's when you know it's actually there. And you'll know this because under your character on the character select screen, there's going to be a location assigned to it as opposed to the blank by default. And the second thing, now we're getting into specifics to Season of Discovery. You need to make sure that you're parking your character either in Darnassus if you're Alliance or Thunderbluff if you are a Horde player. Well, let's first explain why. You want to go there and park your character there because that's where the Black Fathom Depths buff is going to be dropped. And this is a massive buff that gives you not only way more killing power, but also a 20% increased movement speed, which is phenomenal for leveling. It makes your leveling speed way faster. Maybe level up your fishing a little bit while you're waiting for that buff to drop. It is so advantageous. It helps you out so much with your ability to kill things quickly and also move between quests, because as we know with Classic, it is walking simulator after all, and there's going to be doing that 20% faster is just, it's so nice. Only time I wouldn't be so, I guess, concerned about this is if you are on a very active PvP server. I feel like holding on to your buffs is going to be difficult because players are going to be killing each other a lot. So maybe just cut your losses on that. But if you are able to keep these buffs and you're not in a constant PvP situation, or if you're in a situation where you're not worried about dying, then yeah, you definitely want to park your character there. And what I mean by park is you want to set your Hearthstone there. You want that to be where you end your play session. Also too, when you end your play session, you might just want to leave your character logged in. It'll auto log out after about 20 minutes, just so it can sit around, maybe snag a buff before your character gets auto logged out. Or hey, if you work from home, maybe just keep your character on in the background every so often, check in to see if you got the world buff, and if you did, just log your character out. There is an add-on, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, I'll put it in the description, that does let you know when the buff is dropped, and it'll play a sound effect so you know when it's a good time to either, well, I guess I haven't gone into it yet, but you can actually save this buff if you're not ready to use it just yet on any of the reagents vendors, and I'll link a couple in the description below. You're able to buy, and I'll put the item up here as well. You're able to use this item and it's going to store, it's like a chrono saver that's going to be able to save your buffs, and you'll be able to reapply your buffs at a later time. This is great for like raid logging and that kind of stuff. That'll be in the description. You want to take a look at that. Now we're getting into our third one. Our third and final one is another Season of Discovery specific item. This is going to be specific to each class and individual character. What it is you want to make sure you're getting your runes as quick as possible on whatever class you're playing. Runes are a huge driver of power when it comes to Season of Discovery, obviously, because it's where all the new spells and effects are packaged. So you want to make sure you're getting your runes as quick as you can. But for this step, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and take a look at your class specific list. And there's a great list that's on Wowhead that's available right now and completely finished. Wowheads is finished, so you're able to go over there and check out your, not only where your runes are, but the optimum level for each one, like what level you need to be before you go attempt getting it. I'm going to drop each of the class Season of Discovery rune lists in the description, where you can go see their written guides, and also you're able to see at the very bottom they have their list of the runes and also what level you should be when you go attempt it. Now everyone, those are the three that I suggest you get into. Next thing you need to be informed on is what's coming up in Phase 2 as we learn more. I have videos about Phase 2 and our preparations and further preparations we need to make in the description below. It is January. This should be the month that we start seeing Phase 2. But also, if you're curious about all things Warcraft, I have a video in the description talking about the great return of Warcraft and why January is going to start the process of Warcraft rising to the top once again. There's a lot of stuff coming out here very soon for Warcraft, so you can inform yourself by taking a look at my video in the description. And everyone, if the video did help you out today, please heroic strike that like button. If you want to stay tuned for more WoW content in the future, please bash the subscribe. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.